Hey Northridge Nation, today we're going to give you a closer look at that Roam Adventure rooftop tent. You saw in the previous video where we showed you how we assembled and installed the Roam Adventure Company rooftop tent onto the giveaway Gladiator. Now we figure we're going to show you a little bit closer look at it, the details, benefits, the things we like about this tent. We're also going to show you how to open the tent up, set it up, and to close it down properly. So we're down here on the waterfront, beautiful Port Gamble, Washington, and figured it's the perfect place to show you this tent. All right, to start out, we need to open up the buckles that hold the cover down, and there's two on each end. We'll also open up our ends and start to unzip it. There's a zipper that goes on three sides of this tent. Now, once you have the cover off and hanging, if you don't have the Annex, you can just roll the cover up and use the hook and loop system to just anchor it up underneath the tent instead of having it hang off the side of the vehicle. Now, we have the Annex, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab a hold of the cover and just slide that corded end right out of the channel. Before we open up the tent, we do want to get the Annex ready for installation. Pull your Annex out, and you can tell the top edge, you have the zipper around three sides, and then you have this corded edge. And when I say corded edge, this really is a soft cord that's sewn into the edge of the tent. And we want to slide this right into the channel that the corded edge of the cover was in. Now we can take this Annex and just hook it up into the bed and get it out of the way for now. Because then we're going to want to unstrap the ladder. And extend the ladder out. Now we can reach in here and you'll see this aluminum hoop. And this is the porch hoop. We can pull that out and set that right there. All right, grab the legs of your ladder, tip up, and then grab the ladder and pull the tent open. So we want to adjust the ladder so all the rungs are collapsed and locked in at the upper end. Now on each side of the tent, you have these little pivoting stubs, and we're going to take our porch bar and slide either end of that porch bar onto that rotating stub. Now, if you don't have the Annex, all you need to do is stretch out your tie downs, and there are three of them, and you want to make sure you use all three because that's going to anchor the tent and the porch down and help lock the ladder in place. Now we have the Annex, so we have a couple more steps to do. I find it easiest to slide the ladder or collapse it back up and Velcro it into place. Now we can grab our Annex and slide the Annex out. And we come over to the side here and get our zipper started. And now we want to start zippering our Annex in place. Now you can unzip your door, and all doors and windows on the Roam Adventure Company rooftop tent do roll up and strap out of the way. And then the floor of the Annex goes right down on the bottom, and we can open that up And you want to look for the start and stop section of the zipper. And that section is going to line right up with the start and stop of the zipper, right in the center of the door. So then you'd want to use the tent stakes and to anchor down the corners of the annex. You would then want to go out and anchor all 3 of the guy wires for the porch. Unfortunately, where we decided to do this demonstration, well, this ground is rock hard, so we're not putting any tent stakes into the ground. Now, next up is to do our window awning poles. You slide those out of the bag. So grab your awning poles, and there's a slot right here in the tent on all sides that you can slide your awning pole in to the aluminum base of the tent. We then bend the awning pole up. Now the last 2 go up at the cab. Because we've lowered our tent below the cab, we actually had to do some creative bending to one of the awning poles to be able to get it to clear the cab. Now that we got the tent all set up, let's take a look inside. So with the annex set up, we now want to pull the ladder back down. Now extend the ladder from the bottom down, latching in each step of the way. With that ladder in place, that's going to act like a leg or a support to hold that bookend of the tent flat and solid, so you don't get that bookend bouncing like this and possibly damaging the hinges. So as we step inside the Roam tent, the first thing we're going to notice is the dual boot bags. These are great addition. It allows you to store your footwear while you're up in the tent. The bottom is mesh, so any moisture or dust will fall through. And they also have an extra pocket here for accessories. Now these do slide out, and you can throw them in the washing machine to keep them clean. Now, back underneath the bookend of the tent is you see the gear hammock. This is the perfect place to stuff jackets or any other lightweight gear. This gear hammock can also be used up inside the tent to hold gear. Now let's head on up. Thing you notice when you climb up into the tent is you see 4 bungees. There's 2 right here in front of me and 2 behind me. And what they do is they're there to help pull the sides of the tent in as you're closing that tent. So to use the tent, I'm going to pull these out of the way. Hey, come on. There we go. And you can just coil these up and stuff it into the side pocket. Now there are 4 gear pockets, 1 at each corner. It's perfect to put your cell phone, wallet, any other gear you want to get out of the way while you're sleeping. Now one of the things I want to show you is, well, if you haven't guessed from the videos, I'm like 6 foot gargantuan tall. And I can lean out or lay back in this tent, and I've got a foot above my head, and my feet are just barely touching the back wall. There is plenty of room inside these Roam tents for even the tallest of individuals. Now this Roam tent is very roomy, and there's one even bigger than this, the XL, which basically has a king size mattress in it. So if you've got a family with a few kids, or maybe you have a lot of friends and you're really friendly, hey, that's the tent to get. Plenty of room. Now speaking of a mattress, let's take a look at the mattress. This is a 3-inch thick foam mattress, and this comes standard with the Roam tents. This is not an option. There's no 1.5 inch thin mattress. This is a 3-inch mattress, and it comes standard. We love that. Now if we look underneath the mattress, you'll see this orange perforated pad, and this is the anti-condensation mat. This will help keep the condensation down. And again, this is standard. This is not an option. You don't have to pay extra to add this. It comes in the tent standard. Another thing we'll point out is the tent poles. This is the framework to hold the tent in place. They're 1 inch in diameter and they're very sturdy. And we really love the dual skylights. I mean, it's fantastic. It allows quite a bit of light in at night. If the stars are bright, you can see the stars. With them open, this is just mosquito netting. The dual skylights are actually sewn into the rain fly. So you can have these open for maximum ventilation and you won't get wet with the rain because it's gonna hit that rain fly and roll off. So now that we've told you all the things we really like about the Roam rooftop tent, let's close this thing up. Now to do so, you wanna make sure you zip all your windows up. You wanna make sure you close the skylight windows if you happen to have those open. And you wanna make sure that you put the bungees back in place. Wow, one thing I just noticed as I'm closing up these side windows, now all of a sudden the ventilation through the end of the back porch out the front porch really picked up. So by using the windows open or close on one side or the other, you can really direct some airflow in here. It's amazing just zipping these up how much more it channeled that airflow through. Now with everything closed up inside, let's take down our annex. So our first step is to fold the ladder up and get it up against the book end of the tent. With that ladder folded out of the way, we can unzip the floor and fold that up and then pull the annex down. Now to get the awning unzipped, we will have to pull the awning poles out from the windows. Tuck that up in the bed to get it out of the way. And let's go ahead and finish taking our awning poles out. Now, one of the tricks to closing this tent up is to control the fabric. We don't want the fabric puffing out. We want it to get pulled in. So make sure that all your window coverings or your awnings are all anchored down. Then pull down your porch loop. Then you can take these T-hooks and reach in and hook them into the loops up at the top of the window. Double check to make sure you got all the hatches battened down, and now we can start folding the tent up. So now you want to go around and tuck all the excess fabric up inside the tent. Before we tie everything down, we want to make sure we store our porch hoop. And now this tent is really sturdy. You can get up on top of it and push it down and use your cinch straps to lock the two halves together. Make sure you get both sides. Run your Velcro straps around the ladder to lock it in place. And now we're ready for the cover. Now be sure to pull your cover all the way on and down and tight, and then you can zip it and clip it. So there is the Roam Adventure Company rooftop tent from top to bottom, and that includes the Annex. So what do you think? Were we thorough enough in our instructions on how to set up your rooftop tent, how to close it back down? Do you have a rooftop tent yet? Are you ready to put a rooftop tent on top of your four-wheel drive vehicle? If so, check the description box down below where you can find a link to the Roam Adventure Company rooftop tents here at Northridge 4x4. And we'd like to thank the city of Port Gamble once more for allowing us to shoot here on their waterfront. It's beautiful down here, and we will see you in the next video. Until then, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks, Northridge Nation.